And we are back. I want to start out by saying I'm sorry for the microphone quality. I will try to get a better microphone as soon as possible. Hopefully it's not too bad and it's good enough to actually hear what I'm saying and it doesn't block the game audio too much. And like I said, I'll try to get a better microphone as soon as possible. Let's head over to the next menu book item, which is over here. Brands Hatch. Looks like we're doing the small version of the track. Brands Hatch is a classic track. It needs to be in. As a racer, you know, there's certain tracks that you should just have memorized just by racing over time, just by doing the race, just by the history associated with the track. Certain tracks you need to know. This is one. A track like Suzuka is another one. Silverstone, Monza. These are all tracks that have existed for a long time and involve a certain amount of technicality. These are driver's tracks. But here, you should know that you kind of just tap the brakes at the curbing and just throw the car over here. Like I said, you should know that. I clearly didn't, or was not as prepared for it as I could be. We'll get that right next lap. We'll get that right. Put the sender on the outside here. One thing about these small cars is the front wheels are being asked to do a lot. The front wheels are obviously the drive wheels because of front wheel drive, but they're also responsible for turning and for braking. So when you have got the front axle responsible for all three, the front tires just give up sometimes and they don't want to work. What you have to do is be mindful of where the car starts rolling through the corner. Is it going straight on in the corner because you're carrying too much speed? Is it because you're still braking and the front wheels don't want to turn in? Front wheels are doing a lot. And we actually didn't correct that turn from last lap because there was a car in the way and we also completely forgot about it. But, you know, maybe as our live streaming career progresses, we'll get a bit better at remembering the things that we said we were going to do about 70 seconds prior. We'll get better at that over time. This guy just casually cruised to a P1 here. Sorry, we weren't really paying attention to the gap he had. We'll get a nice little... Actually, I'm gonna keep my comments to myself about this vehicle for now. I'm gonna withhold all commentary relating to Germany in the 1940s and subsequent years. I just, you know, I don't want to get cancelled before I even get started. Let's just push that entire topic to the side and forget about it. Let's go for P1 this time. It's got a 8.9 second lead. She'll handle that. See, the game knows, based on the speed of this car, where you're gonna make it to by the time you get to the turn. So they make the AI plant it right in the apex. That's not track limits. I was still on the curb. Just a little bit of lift. This has been dirty lap so far. I'm not very proud of this lap. We did gain time, massive amounts of time, bike could be cleaner. Let's go for an actual clean lap. A little bit of a lift, just a touch of brakes, of course sliding in, catch it on the curbing. That slipstream. They're going to cover the apex right here. We're going to do a late turn in and earlier in the power. Lift off just to get the car rotated. Just touch the brakes once at this curving here, get the car pointed in over here. Get that slipstream. We're gonna go wide here. We're gonna get a nice cutback and get on the power early. There we go. It's cooked. We're gonna just rub a little bit of salt in his wound as well and just cover him off, you know. Don't try anything. There we go. Really, the first lap definitely could have been cleaner, but as you can see, if you just concentrate and put it together, it's really not that tough at all. Give us all our money, give us all that experience. Wish we could skip that replay. There should be a setting in the menu to disable the auto replay after every mission. I get it, it's a nice feature, maybe you want to go back and watch it, but it should be optional. Anyways, on to the next one, shall we? This is a great track when you're racing online in an online lobby with your buddies or with random people. This is a great track to put like 15 or 20 laps on. It's short track, it's a quick track, it's got pretty much every single kind of turn. Just send it in. Brakes don't work. No, we're good. That's clean. That's clean overtake. We're just having a way on this track. This is F2 versus F1. And we'll just go from last place to P2 in one lap. Stand on the brakes, get the car stopped, turn it in, and on the power. This guy's taking the inside line up there for absolutely no reason, because he's a bot. Go. Brake, throw it in on the power, brake again, get the car rotated, let it roll through, back on the power. Flat out, no lift. Yeah, he's cooked. Let go. And that's the stream. We're going around the outside. You know what, let's just cover them too, just because we're absolutely demonic like that. Let's just cover up the AI, cover up the absolute bot. We didn't even go for the move anyways. But you know, you gotta, sometimes it's about sending a statement, even if it's a complete NPC character. Get me out of this freaking Mazda. I would like to go past 4th gear and, you know, actually have some kind of speed built up. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe I should just chill out a bit. We just started today. This is only the third video. Calm down. I need to stay fast. It's okay. It's okay. We'll be okay. Simmer down. Get me out of here. What's next? Back to the cafe. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to go into a vehicle that's rear-wheel drive, if possible. Got another... Oh, they're just giving us the entire game at this point. Is that a real place with all those palm trees in the background? I don't know, that last picture we just saw, how we should stay there. I want to see all those palm trees. I don't know if that's a real place. Because what does it look like underneath, like with all the roots? Are they just all tangled in each other? Sorry, Luca, I really don't care what you're saying yet. Maybe one day. And it's sending us to the high-speed ring. Hopefully we get a high-speed car. Wow. Skip. Never mind. I pressed X and it faded away. I thought I skipped it, but it trolled me. Wow. Wow. I'm just getting that type of reaction that they expected when they showed this. Wow. Alright. I just want to check one thing before we head over to the high-speed ring. Have we already unlocked? Oh, never mind. We got a championship. Oh no, I still have to use one of these. That's okay, I guess. We'll do it. Let me in. It's going to be the slow speed ring for this race. That's clickbait when they said it's the high speed ring. It's the high speed ring, but not during this race. Can have a look at the turbo boost gauge in the bottom right hand corner of the telemetry, next to all the assist icons. Looks like we're running a solid it's about a quarter bar of boost. 1 bar of boost is about 14-15 psi, so a half bar is around 7. We're running around 3.5, maybe 4 psi of boost here. So this thing's turbocharged and that much power is coming from the turbo. I wonder what kind of a snail this thing would be without the turbo. The entire turbocharger system and the cooling associated with it does add a little bit of weight to the overall package, but on average it'll increase your power output by about 50%. So what that means is, if you've got a car with 100 horsepower, if you add a turbocharger or some kind of forced charge system to it, it could be either a turbocharger or a supercharger. On average, you'll gain about 50% power. That's without taking into consideration the weight of the car, the boost levels, the displacement. We're not going too in depth with any of that, but just on average, if you add a turbocharger to a system, you'll increase the power output by about 50%. So if you've got a car without a turbo on it and it's making 100 horsepower, if you add a decent turbo, system to it, it should increase the power by 50%, meaning it'll take you from 100 horsepower up to 150 horsepower. That's just a very basic average, a very basic generalization. But if you have a look at some of the cars that are available in the market, some cars come with just the base engine, whether it be a V6 or a V8, and then they'll offer a similar model with a similar engine, but it'll include a turbocharger or a bi-turbo system. And you can just do some rough math yourself and notice the power increase from the car without the turbo to the car with the turbo. On average, it increases it by about 50%. I would love to get into how turbos actually operate and how they increase the efficiency and the power of the system. I would love to get into all that, and then superchargers as well. The different kind. You've got a turbo, you can have a bi-turbo system, which is the same as twin turbo. Sometimes one turbo is bigger than the other, so that one can kick in before the other one. When you have superchargers, if you got different kind of screw superchargers, some are more powerful than others, some have a more parasitic effect on the engine, meaning that they require horsepower themselves to operate before they can add horsepower to the system. There's a lot going on in the engine bay once you actually start wondering what's going on and looking into it. And that telemetry that's popping off at the bottom of the Gran Turismo screen, it actually means something to you once you realize what's going on in the engine bay. These slow races at the start can't really say anything about them other than they're slow. So let's just get through these, get the funner stuff unlocked, get the faster cars unlocked. Anything with rear wheel drive is always a lot more fun to drive in real life as well. And it looks like they've added some jeopardy to this by making it wet. I was not expecting that. Wet track on comfort mediums? Sure, I guess. When I woke up early this morning, I was not expecting to drive a Mazda on the high speed ring on comfort mediums in the wet. You know, can't really predict life, can't really predict how your day is gonna go. We seem to be doing okay over here. We're just gonna do a nice little switch back and go on the outside here since we had the overspeed. There's a lot to take into consideration when you're racing. For example, I almost did not make that braking zone there. Every car, every track, every road condition, these are all variables that can change and then change the way you need to enter or exit a corner. As we progress through the game and unlock more vehicles and unlock different tracks, we'll go over all the different types of things you need to take into consideration when racing, when competing. How to get your overtakes done, how to be more consistent with your throttle and braking inputs, what you need to avoid to make sure the car stays stable and planted on the road. It always comes down to your contact patch, the rubber on your tires that's in contact with the road. When you actually consider how much of your tire is in contact with the road at any given point, it's a very small amount of rubber. So you always want to be mindful of that and the fact that you need to keep those contact patches in contact with the ground. Because when you're rolling through a turn, when you're turning into a corner and the car kind of is just going straight on instead of making a turn, it could be because your contact patch is not in contact with the road and that is because of the way you enter the corner. So it just takes a little bit of adjustment to your driving and your driving style, just a little bit of understanding what the tire and the tire sidewall is doing. Once you've got an understanding of that, you can pretty much drive any car in any condition and be able to control it. Like right there, we did not make that braking zone last lap because it was a new variable, it was a new braking zone, new weather conditions, and just by doing one more lap and taking the other turns, I was able to kind of adjust my driving style to be able to make that braking zone. This is what driving is all about. It's about making adjustments on the fly and just being able to know what the different adjustments are going to have to be before you even get into the situation. It becomes muscle memory really at a point. Like even right now, I know from the last race we did that this guy has a higher top speed than me. So right now on this straight, he's going to keep pulling from me. So he's actually going to win this race because there's only a straight left. If he lifts or touches the brake once during the span to the finish line, then we've got a chance. Otherwise, he's about to take this. Yeah, you can see in the gap at the top left, you can see he's gaining time. That means he's got a higher top speed. And even the people behind us were catching up. So we were faster than them in all curves, but they had a higher top speed. It's all good. We still win. So what happens in a situation where the points are tied like that is the individual who got the win or the higher points, whoever did that first in the tournament, they're the one that obtains the top spot. Because I got 12 points and I had a win before the other individual that matched me in points, I did it first, so I was the first one to earn those points. So I get the #1 spot in the championship. The same thing happens in real life championships too. Whenever there's a count back, if someone's tied on points, they go back to whoever got the best result first. Let's just go with the middle one. And we got the worst one in terms of performance points, but that's okay because I'm pretty sure you unlock all of them anyways by doing the other parts of the menu book. And I'm complaining about this car like I'm actually going to drive it later on. It's only going to be for whatever story missions we need it for. Get me on this replay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the cafe, finish this menu book off, and then we are going to end this live stream here. I've got some things I need to take care of at home. I'm going to do those, and then we'll be back for more live streaming and the additional menu books after this. And with that, we unlock some more stuff. Once we get circuit experience unlocked, then we'll be cooking. Let me just make sure I don't already have it unlocked. They've unlocked Brand Central 2, so we can buy the Super Formula. Do we have circuit? Oh, we do have circuit experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the live stream here and return shortly, but I'll just show you one thing before we sign off. This is actually one of the best ways to earn credits in this game if you're able to drive around on racing hard tires. That's the one thing, you have to use hard tires. So you can see here, if we finish the entire course off, you get 800,000 credits, which is a lot if you take a look at the amount of credits we have right now. We've got 84,000 credits after completing 3 menu books. So if you can get 800,000 for completing the circuit experience on this one course, and you can do that for all the other courses as well, there's a lot of money to be made here in circuit experience. It is a bit difficult, and it does take quite a bit of practice to get used to the cars and the way the tires behave compared to other tires, but it's completely possible, and we'll be starting our next live stream with this circuit experience. just to show you that even if you're low level, you can still get your credits. What we really want to do is get some credits and buy this absolute monstrosity over here. Where is it? Sorry, Sarah, I don't need to talk to you. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Just let me in. There we go. So we'll be buying this right here. 1,000,000 credits. As soon as we get it, this will be purchased along with some racing soft tires. The reason we're not buying the 23s is because we're just throwing it back to the previous regulation set. We're not going to drive the ground effect cars yet. We'll be driving the previous generation. I will be driving the Honda, not the Toyota. We'll be driving the Honda. So next live stream will be starting out the circuit experience, and we'll be unlocking the Super Formula as soon as you got enough credits, and heading over to the Nürburgring. Just because a lap of the Nürburgring is definitely needed here and there just to keep your sanity. Yeah. So we'll end over here. We'll continue with more story mode and circuit experience and Nürburgring gameplay very shortly. Thanks for tuning in if you did, and like I said, continue very shortly. Bye for now.